Offering insights into the internet, IoT, and data relationship is Dr. Krishnan Ranganath, a regional executive for West Africa at Africa Data Centers. With over 30 years of expertise, Dr. Krish drives digital transformation across Africa through integrated data centers, cloud solutions, and connectivity services. Recently named Digital Economy Trailblazer of the Year at the 2025 Digital Innovation Awards in Ghana, Dr. Krish is a pioneer who holds the record for building the most data centers in West Africa. He is indeed a trailblazer. Dr. Krish.
Hey, how are you?
Good to see you. Nice to meet you. It's been a lot of security. I'm trying coming in, but I have to use my ID, my government ID. Why?
Of course, it's a secured location. You know, data centers are one of the highly secured locations under the sun.
Wow, wonderful.
Because we manage somebody else's data.
Wonderful. So it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of the needle for you to come into the data center.
Of course. Even you are not even seeing 10%. That's what I always say.
Good to see you, Dr. Krish.
Same here.
Thank you so much.
Please come.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome, sir. Thank you so much.
Come on.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
To go through this, please.
All right, sir.
You are from which company?
We're from TVC. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Okay, good to have you, Dr. Krish. Can we get to meet you?
It's nice to have you guys here. I'm Krish, as you know my name as Krish, and handle the West Africa business for Africa Data Centers. And we are a part of the bigger group called Cassava Group or Castech. I can say in a simple word that we are one of the biggest IT conglomerates in Africa. We are growing. You can see it's a small entry facility for Nigeria, a small data center. We currently operate Kenya, South Africa, and Lagos, Nigeria now.
So apparently, what do you really do?
Have you heard about archives, correct, storages? So in a very layman's language, I can say that, it's a digital archive or digital storage or secured locations to have your data, and a connectivity ecosystem. So that is what it is.
So what's a data?
For example, okay, you might have seen when you came into the office, they asked you for your government ID, am I correct? So there are a lot of data captured in that, like your name, your place of birth, your address, your family details maybe, So this is very critical, correct? And these are critical data. I mean, any information is captured on a digital way, which is highly confidential and which is more needed and which is critical rather.
What's the difference between data and internet?
Of course, internet is a medium, correct? So it is like, what is internet? It is a medium to communicate. That is, in a layman's language, we can explain that way, correct? What is data? Data is I can say, is not a byproduct, it's the main product rather. Without data, there's no validity for internet. Okay, for example, okay, now we all go to Google or YouTube and watch movies. So that movie is a data, correct? So there's a content, it is sitting somewhere. So the internet, it always connects you to that data or that available resources, correct? So that is the difference.
Like you've been in this game for 20 years, and you're like a bridge between the old and the new, the olden days and the present days. So can you relate? What's the difference?
Debo, actually seeing that, rightly mentioned, we are the bridge. We are the fortunate generation, which can see the old and the new Gen Zs, correct? So there's a huge gap. We are seeing everything, we are in the middle. So when we look at that, old time also data was there. Okay, it is not there, but not in this format, not in the digital format. If you go into the old time banks, correct? Of course, you walk into a banking hall, there's a big ledger. Okay, they go into your folio, okay, your account number, then they verify, okay, you are giving them a check. If your account number is correct, is your signature, okay, signature used to be a signature card. They verify your signature. All things were there in those times also. If you go back into, I can say the Stone Ages, the data was there, but not kept in this way. What we are keeping in this way, the way I can say is a digital way of doing it. That's the only difference. Everything was there, but we are changing the approaches.
What's the role of AI in all this, really?
AI is practically taking over your life, So maybe I can say last couple of years back, your schedule. Okay, you are getting up at 7 o'clock, okay, or 6 o'clock, then you go for a walk, you come back, you have a coffee, you take shower, you get into the office, everything is in your hand. Now, more or less AI has taken over it. So it gives you your behavior. Of course, one way it is very good because it gives you valid outputs based on individuals, based on behaviors. That behavior is not limiting to individuals, correct? Based on businesses. So it gives you more futuristic and predictive analysis of things if you use it in the right way. So every tech has a plus and a minus. Okay, minus of course the way how people use it. Okay, we can't blame for that. We can't blame anybody for that. It is approach. Or that's why, in Nigeria also 1.5 years back, the Honorable Minister came up with a framework for how to use AI, how to not to use AI.
So where do you have these data centers?
Okay, globally, if you look at, we have around a number between 8,000 to 9,000 data centers globally, and more than 45 to 50% is based in the US. A substantial percentage is in the Europe. Africa, in 54 countries, what we have is around a number between 180 to 190 is the numbers within Africa, and which is more focused again, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria. These are the three focal areas. Nigeria, apparently we have around 14 data centers as of now, and more are coming in Nigeria.
So what's the future like what's the future generally? Can you paint up the future? What does it look like to you?
You remember in the old times, all the oil-rich nations, oil was the money. Oil was everything, correct? Now data is everything. So data is the new oil, and actually that is a fact, because if you look at any action, you need to validate it, correct? Okay, let's take Nigeria as an example. 225 to 230 million people we are talking about. So that is the data. And without that numbers, you can't do anything. The government can't plan anything, correct? And how many of them are in each of the state, in each of the 774 local governments? These are valid data, valid inputs, correct, to take any kind of decisions or do any kind of planning. So that is where it goes. It literally goes into that line.
So what advice do you have for people out there that are listening to you now?
The thing is that, change is the only one thing which is constant. It is evolving. As you rightly mentioned a while ago, we are one of those generations which have seen the past, today, and the future, and even the future, correct? We understand where we are, where this is going. So, first thing first, there's a trust factor. And technology is trying to drive everything, whether you like it or not. This is what it is. A human life is driven by technology. So unless you believe in that, you won't be comfortable there. So I'm not forcing anybody to believe it, but you understand it, go along with it. Wherever you need to make corrections, you make corrections, the technology will make corrections. That is how the ecosystem needs to grow. See, from a human perspective, human and technology perspective, these are covered up by global practices. Various measures has been taken in place, put it in place, correct? So that is what only I can say. We can put those things in place and we can actually make it happen, make it work. I can't run a data center, or nobody can run a data center without secured infrastructure, because It is to secure your own data. It shouldn't go into the wrong hands, because there is always a right and a wrong. So that wrong can be 0.001%, but that can cause a problem. You can't nullify it, you can minimize it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Krish, for being on the show. And I hope Dr. Krish has been able to share enough insights on the relationship between the internet, IoT, and data.